Hello again, music fans. I am back here to do one of these spotlight on my collection videos. This time to do my 10 favorite heavy metal albums of the 80s. Now, I've already done one of these for the 70s, and in that one I included hard rock and metal, because there was not that much super great metal in the 70s. There was a lot of great hard rock, but metal was just starting. In this one, I am including albums that are just all heavy metal, even though most of them include, of course, inevitably elements of hard rock, but they're all in the metal genre. Okay, so these are my favorites, and the criteria here is that I have lived with these albums since the 80s. I've been listening to them, and they still hold up. They're still classics, and I can still listen to them today and enjoy them. Let's get started. First, Black Sabbath, Mob Rules here. Second album with Dio in the band. A lot of people would go with Heaven and Hell, which was also in the 80s. But by a hair, I go with this one. I like its somewhat the darker tone. The songs are well, I'm not going to say better than Heaven and Hell, but I do prefer them a little bit more. Start of the Night, Voodoo, Sign of the Southern Cross, great tracks all. Black Sabbath, Mob Rules. And I'm going to be showing these in more or less chronological order, from the beginning of the 80s until the end. A band that is a hard rock band, but this is a completely metal album. Creatures of the Night. Okay? And just short to the point and hits you over the head like a sledgehammer. Title track, Saint and Sinner, Keep Me Coming. I Love It Loud. Overplayed that one, I know, but I still like it. Okay, War Machine, great stuff here. Plus those thunderous drums from Eric Carr. Creatures of the Night, love it. One that is completely obvious here. Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast. This was my introduction to Iron Maiden. Okay, and the songs still hold up. Title track is overplayed, I know, as is the closer, which is Hallowed Be Thy Name, but it's still one of the best album closers of all time. Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast, classic. A lot of people would go with Peace of Mind, and I understand that, but I prefer this one, for the songs and also because it was my introduction to Maiden. Okay, Number of the Beast. In fact, it was only until much later that I got into those two early albums. Okay. Ronnie James Dio is twice on this list. Here first with Mob Rules and now with Holy Diver, but this is his own band. Okay. And I love Last in Line as well, and also Dream Evil, but I'm going with the debut here, Holy Diver. I remember back in the day, I didn't want to show this cover to my mom, What would she think? But it still holds up really good. Classic album. Dio. And I'm also going to be showing just one album per band, so. Okay, so SAXON, Power and the Glory. And I just love this album. My original copy from back in the day is a bit beat up, but it still plays great. Okay, it has a very raw electric sound, this one. Power and the Glory, Red Line Warrior, The Eagle Has Landed, just great songs. Power and the Glory by SAXON. Cool logo also. Judas Priest, another pretty obvious choice. Defenders of the Faith. Some would go with maybe Screaming for Vengeance or British Steel, all great, both great albums, but I do prefer this one. I believe this one was also my introduction to Judas Priest. Okay, so just for Free Wheel Burning and The Sentinel. I mean, those two tracks, absolutely killer. Really cool cover as well. Love Bites, Rock Hard Jawbreaker, great tracks. Priest. Gotta have Priest on the list. This one came out at the heyday of hair metal, but it is just the songwriting here is what elevates it for most hair metal. Even though I don't really consider this fully into that subgenre, because it is so much heavier, so much more aggressive. Okay, W.A.S.P here. It would be similar to Motley Crue's Shout at the Devil, but I think the songwriting is way better here. Okay, which is W.A.S.P, but self-titled. This one does not have. It is their debut album. Like just catchy as hell, very hard rocking, but very metal as well. Okay, W.A.S.P, self-titled. Then we go with a very personal favorite. Some would not put this on a 10 best list, even though everybody would agree that this is a great album. But maybe they wouldn't put it on the top 10, but I would. Okay, Power of the Night, right there. Title track is one of the greatest metal songs of all time. That riff, I love it. I love it. But the rest of the album, also killer. Warriors, Necrophilia, The Fountain of Youth, School Session. I mean, this is just so absolutely 100% in your face, metal fist in your face metal. Great cover as well. Okay, SAVATAGE. Many people would go with Hall of the Mountain King, and I almost did. I almost went with that one. That one was the beginnings of their more orchestral symphonic sound, but here they were completely metal. Okay, Power of the Night. Then we go with another pretty obvious choice here. Metallica, Master of Puppets. Title track has been played to death, I know, but it's still good. Okay, and the rest of the album still holds up. The Thing That Should Not Be, Welcome Home, Sanitarium, Leper Messiah, Orion, the instrumental. Okay, and this is the special edition that has another 2 bonus discs. It's got the first one is just the album remastered. The second one is riffs, demos, and rough mixes, and the third one is a live album during the Damage Incorporated tour. Okay, Master of Puppets, pretty obvious choice, but I think it's worthy to be in the top 10 still. Last, but definitely not least, and not least at all in terms of songwriting quality. Okay, QUEENSRYCHE, Operation Mindcrime, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, metal concept albums of all time, and concept albums in general. Okay, it's hard to make a concept album where all the songs are good, but this one completely knocks it out of the park. From the first one to the number, I believe, 15 tracks here. I remember now, Anarchy Else, Revolution Calling. It just takes you through that journey until the end with Eyes of a Stranger, and closes out the album fantastically. This special edition contains 2 bonus tracks, The Mission and My Empty Room Live. Remember, I had this one. I first bought this on cassette back in the day, and I remember I had a T-shirt also with this cover, a white T-shirt, which is unusual for a metal T-shirt. Okay, QUEENSRYCHE, Operation Mindcrime. There you go. My 10 favorite from the 80s. Took a while to put this list together because, as you know, there's a million special mentions, and I'm not going to waste time with that because, there's just so much great metal that came out during the 80s. Next installment will be the 90s. I already started on that one, but I still haven't made up my mind. For now, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Keep rocking.